Hey, hello there. Hey, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the update to the PTR. We're going to talk about what's new on the PTR this week. The build number was 42069. Yeah, you literally cannot make that up. So yeah, we're going to talk about what is new in build 42069. And there's not really too much, but there's definitely some bits and pieces, and we're definitely getting closer to a release of this patch, and hopefully a release date. But before we jump into all of that, guys, I just want to shout out my Twitch, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me streaming World of Warcraft, patch 9.2 PTR, 10.0 alpha beta, any sort of MMO content, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. Right, so yes, as I said, it's been a bit of a slow week in regards to the PTR updates. Just a kind of like a small minor things and some tweaks and some changes, and definitely some not so great changes to something in particular, which we'll talk about in a moment. But there is a good change. There's a really good change, and probably the biggest change of this week. And I did actually make a full video going over the change here, and that is flying. Flying has now completely been reworked in regards to the way that you unlock it. So previously, you had to do the cipher system, the cipher the first one system. You had to put one notch in each of the things, and it took about 17 days at a bare minimum, but realistically it would have been, 25 to 30, because it takes a long time to grind that currency. So before, that's how it was. But now they've changed it to a meta achievement. So the meta achievement, not to drag on too much, but the meta achievement is essentially just stuff you'll do in Zeref Mortis. So explore the zone, kill some rares, get some treasures, do the storyline, do some side quests, stuff like that. So nothing like too crazy. It's honestly like really easy. It's actually going to be unlocked 14 days after the patch launches. So yeah, perfect. You can do most of it on day one as well, which is actually really cool. So yeah, the only bit that's kind of time gated is the chapter part. I think it's chapter 5, which, as I said, unlocks on week 3, which is 14 days after the patch. So there you go, 14 days of flying, nice and easy. They actually put in the development notes that they looked at the feedback and they were like, yeah, you know what? We'll do it like this. So that's really good. So keep fighting the good fight, guys. We actually won that one. So yeah, that's the big change of this week. One of the annoying changes, and hopefully they go back on this, because I don't really know why they've done it. It's actually super annoying. They've actually nerfed a ton of the reputation rewards in Zeref Mortis. So originally the world quests were giving 225 rep per world quest. You get 3 world quests per day. Now they give 100. Why? Who knows? Who knows? Now, just to remind you, with reputation, it is still kind of important because the memory, the second legendary memory, is still tied to Revered. They did change the belt, and it's now tied to Chapter 7, but the memory for your ults is still tied to Revered. So you still need to get reputation. It's still important. And the belt is eye level 265, and that's not upgradable. If you wanted to make a 291 Covenant legendary, second legendary thing, you need to have the reputation at Revered. So it's important. It's important to talk about this. So yeah, they nerfed the rep on world quests. The weekly quest is still only giving 250 rep, which is still super low. That hasn't changed over the last couple of weeks, so I don't know if that's something that's just not been noticed, or they're just working and figuring out what they want to do with that quest. Obviously, the Korthia one, I think, gives like 2,500 or something like that, so that needs to be buffed a lot, because it's a weekly quest, and 250 is just not good enough, in my opinion. They did, however, add another source of reputation. Now get this, you can't make this up. So rares now give a very small chance of dropping 15 reputation. 15, 1-5. Yep, 15 rep, and it's a small chance. It's like a little token thing that you get from killing the rare. There's a chance that it could be in there. I had it a couple times. I killed a lot of rares yesterday, and I had a couple times. I mean, it's, I don't know, like, Blizzard, please add reputation to killing rares and opening chests. I want a method of being able to farm rep continuously, I want to know life it. I want to be able to hand things in. I want to be able to do repeatable quests or kill rares and chests, and I don't know, like, I don't know. The sources of rep right now are so pathetic. And daily quests in Zeref Mortis do not give rep. Yep, no rep. There is a small chance of it having a, like a token type thing. I think it's like 150 rep. That's a chance. It's not always happening. It's not always there. So, yesterday I did the dailies and there wasn't any rep at all from all, like, I think 4 or 3 dailies that I did. 0 rep. They give flux, they give ciphers. I mean, that's it. That's the reason they exist, really. No rep on those, which is weird because you're still doing stuff for the Enlightened, so it doesn't really make sense why there isn't any. Possible oversight, I really don't know. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with rep. So TLDR, they've nerfed it really badly, you know, by a lot, and it sucks. It really sucks. So please, please, I hope next week they make some changes. I hope next week they make some changes to it. I guess the rest is just kind of minor changes, really. Tier sets have finally been added to the collection tab, so you can now go onto your character on the PTR and have a look at what your tier sets look like in normal, heroic, mythic, LFR, all the different colorations and stuff, and the different looks and whatnot. So if you want to go do that, that's there now, which is really cool. They also made a lot of the trinkets work. So last build, I kind of cheesed it and got a lot of the trinkets on my characters through methods that were kind of funny. And none of them worked, but this week a lot of them do work, so it's been fun to kind of test those out on stream yesterday. Some of the trinkets there are kind of fun. One of them's super broken, which is funny, so we actually managed to report that, obviously. But yeah, so that's something that was able to be tested out yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. Also, the raid was open on normal over the weekend, which was a lot of fun. We also did that on stream a little bit. Super great raid, a lot of kind of hard bosses, but a lot of fun bosses as well. No more raid testing planned right now. I don't know if they've got any coming up. Potentially to be announced. It is now Thursday, so probably nothing this week, or definitely nothing next week. This week, maybe something next week, I don't know, but it seems like all the bosses are tested, and it looks like they are testing the last 3 internally, which is kind of interesting. Going to be curious to see what happens with the Race to World first there. Also continuing on with minor changes added this time around, they added something called notch mode, and my head instantly went to the notch on the iPhone and other phones, and I was like, oh my god, no. It's happening. They're finally doing it, but it actually is not that. It was actually for Macs, we believe. So the new Macs have a notch for some weird reason. I don't know why they're so obsessed with it. But yeah, there's a notch mode now in 9.2. So yeah, I don't know what that does, but it does something. There's some global strings for it. They also added a bunch of new achievements, namely for the Solo Shuffle Brawl. One of them actually gives you a title called the Soloist, or I think it's just Soloist and then it's your name. You have to win 150 rounds of Solo Shuffle to get that title. Pretty cool. Yeah, and there's some other ones as well, like smaller amounts of things that don't give titles. But yeah, 150 is the kind of the pinnacle one, and that gives you Soloist title, which I think is a cool title. There also was some weird audio files of like crowd noises and weird stuff. I'm gonna play a couple of them like now, and you can make your mind up. I'm not gonna play them all, there's a lot, so yeah, I'm gonna play like the most important ones with like weird voices in them. So yeah, have a listen to these. Yeah, kind of weird. Some of them kind of sound like they're saying words in like a weird language. It's like Simlige or something. So yeah, I'm not too sure on that one. I did ask Twitter, and Twitter wasn't sure either. The speculation is potentially Maldraxxus Colosseum is more realistic, but, you know, if you really want to start speculating, you'd be like, oh my god, that's when Anduin comes back to Stormwind or something. You know, you can really kind of get into it. But yeah, there's a whole lot of speculation to do that. And finally, not on the PTR this week, is the Creation Catalyst. This is the method of creating tier sets, still not in. Still not in the game, which is actually really interesting. It seems like quite a major feature of the patch, and it seems to be not in the game still. There was some global strings related to it, which talk about cooldowns and not being able to make stuff straight away, which is concerning, which is why we need to see it very soon. But yeah, this is related to Cosmic Flux, which is the currency. That actually hasn't changed either. I know I mentioned last week that Cosmic Flux is dropping everywhere, and there's loads of it. It's still dropping everywhere. There's still loads of it. It's good. They haven't nerfed that yet. So yeah, Creation Catalyst, the creating tier sets for people who don't raid, still not in the game, but I think next week we're actually going to finally see it related to these global strings. It looks like they are kind of gearing up to put that in the game, and that's the final feature of 9.2, which is not in the game yet. So yeah. Speaking of which, release date. What's my new release date prediction? My new release date prediction is Tuesday. Tuesday is the 22nd of February, 2022. That's my release date. That's what I'm saying right now. The release date of patch 9.2 is the 22nd of February, 2022. Yep, there you go. And when it does become that, or it doesn't become that, I can post that video and be like, yeah, I am Nostradamus. Anyway, that's it, guys. That is what's new on the PTR this week. Let me know down below what you think of that. Let me know your release date predictions of patch 9.2. I'd love to know what kind of theories and ideas you had. I originally had February 8th, but that's just... that's gone. That ain't happening, unfortunately. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Before I go, I'd like to give a massive shout out to my amazing patrons, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subs. You guys are awesome. if you'd like to support the channel in any of those ways, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe if you hadn't. I've also got a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members. And as I said, I'm now streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. We've been streaming the 9.2 PTR like crazy. It's been a lot of fun, man. This has been one of the best PTR cycles we've had for a long time, and you guys have been enjoying it. So if you want to check me out on stream, guys, we're over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.